Long break. We hope you're out. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the 10:32 draw.
Well, I mean, the game
actually,
is,
these
the game
guys actually started
yeah.
about 10:15. That's true. So, I'll get you back up to speed as quickly as possible here. Our feature game, which you're watching right now, on sheet B, is Broom Shooter 2 from Columbus. They're shooting the Redstones. T.J. Burkett, Eric Johnson, Andy Hartzig, and Josh Webb against shooting the Yellowstones, Single Barrel from Pittsburgh, Paul Schultz, Mark Robinson subbing in at Vice for Brian Stewart, Len Yeager and Daphne Roberts have the Yellowstone, they have the Hammer, and this is the first end. This event is a B event semifinal. The winners of these games will be playing at noon tomorrow in the B event on sheet C. I don't know why the B is on C, it just is.
The B's on C because the A is on B.
Of course, because
it's the feature sheet.
Because it's the feature sheet. All right, so meanwhile, the other B event semifinal will be occurring on sheet A. The top four rink from Nutmeg, Andy Eaton, Mart Zakin, Brian Walker, and Jeff Hannon against Team Hamilton from CVA. Travis Hamilton, Mary Milage, I got pronounced, rats. I think it's Milage. Jim Yeager and Sam Sparks. That's on sheet A, and they have already gotten done with their first end. No, they're in the second end, actually.
Oh, over on A.
Yeah, over on A.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on B, we're on Skip's Rocks.
And Nutmeg has the Redstones and stole 2 in the first end, apparently. Okay. On sheet C, we're in the first end. Team Temple from Pittsburgh, Jackie Temple, Eric McManus, Robert Sir, and Megan Fay against the Hackheads from Triangle, Lance Wright, Mike Mills, Patrick Rabinold, and Amy Hobby. I'm not sure which team has which color on that. We'll get that cleared up as quickly as possible. That is a C event quarterfinal. They're playing for the right to participate in the C event semis tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
On C, Temple is throwing the red.
Temple is throwing which, I'm sorry?
Red.
Red?
Yeah.
Okay, so Team Temple is throwing the red.
Yes, luckily one of the guys is wearing a shirt with his name on it.
Hackheads is yellow. And they're in, like I said, in the C event quarters. The other team in the C event quarters is Team Dobbs from the Curling Club of Central Virginia.
There's no Central one.
Yeah, I don't know why but Michael Dobbs, Doug Chalmers, Scott Burke, and Christine Alisi against the Evil Empire, Kylo Ren, and the Storm Curlers, who are from basically all over the place. Potomac, CCVA, and the Long Island Curling Club. Jen Fox, Alex Carroll, Susan Peterson, Mandy Marone. That game, it has not quite yet started because the previous game on sheet D ran kind of long. So we're back to our feature game on sheet B. I'm going a little crazy. I'm not nearly caffeinated enough to keep up with this. And I'm drinking a caffeine-free beverage. What's wrong with me?
You picked it.
Anyhow, on this game, T.J. Burkett, the Columbus skip, is mic'd with the red mic. The Pittsburgh skip chose not to be, as is their right. We have no issues with that. That's
actually,
up to them.
He did, but the yellow mic isn't here. Did someone
Okay,
put it
so he's wearing the yellow mic. I see it on his back. So
he did say that he could have convinced Paul Schultz to wear a mic.
No, but I see the yellow mic. I see the yellow mic on T.J. Burkett's belt.
Oh, that's right. They are yellow.
No, they're red. He just threw a red stone.
Broom Shooter is
Yeah, this is kind
No,
of
Broom Shooter is red. He just threw a red stone.
Then my scoreboard is red.
We're a little confused. Apologies.
You're just off now.
When they did the flip and color determination on sheet B, frankly, we were a little busy watching the end of the sheet T game, so we're not surprised that things got a little confusing.
Oh, that's right. He did say he's red, but I put him on yellow.
Everybody's happy. Right? Regardless, so we are here getting ready to throw what is the hammer here in this first end. Paul Schultz facing a redstone on the button, pretty well buried. Not sure what he's got in mind.
Control!
Whatever it is, it's coming in control.
It's got to be more than this. It's got to hit up.
I think he's trying to cross the face of a yellow guard he had up there and promote it in. That's not going to happen. It's going to be at an angle, not enough to get in. Red steals 1. Broom Shooter 2 is up 1-0 after 1 with the steal. We have any other scores as of yet? Sheet A. Yes, Sheet A is through 1. Top 4 from Nutmeg took 2 in the first end as a steal. I think we knew that. I think we called that earlier, didn't we? Regardless, they're up 2-0 over Team Hamilton.
Yep.
Sheet C is still wrapping up end 1. Sheet D is still very early in end 1 because they're only just getting started. And that's okay.
A little more movement.
So welcome everybody to Late Night Curling.
Okay, so Team Broom Shooter 2 is throwing the red.
Okay.
And they are Josh Webb, Andy Hartzig, Eric Johnson, and TJ. I had all their names in the right place. I just had their team name in the wrong place.
They're these guys.
Yeah. So, in fact, I did have their names all in the right place. This team here, I just had them on the wrong colors. So, it was a much easier fix than I thought it was going to be.
All right, then. Yay.
Yay. I thought I was going to have to retype everything.
Okay.
And this is what happens when your draws run into each other at your Bonspiels.
Folks at NBC don't have this problem.
Right, because they don't show any curling on TV at NBC.
Yeah, good point. Ouch, that was cold.
Shots fired.
There was actually, and I give NBCSN props for this. They actually showed the final round robin U.S. game, even though Team U.S. had been mathematically eliminated. They still showed it.
Oh, at what, Women's Worlds?
At the Women's Worlds, yeah. And Team USA won that game to come in 6th. That'll be valuable for Olympic qualifying down the road in a couple of years.
That's a respectable finish, and the women usually do finish relatively respectably.
Yeah. And Hogstone?
It's not on the screen. I'm going to guess it's Hogged.
Hogstone.
Yep.
And actually, they're going to be showing some men's games next week also. So, something to look forward to. John Schuster against the world, basically.
As it often is.
Huh?
As it often is.
As it often is,
They go hard, guys.
Okay. So, as for those of you who may or may not know, if you haven't been following us all day, if you just turned in for Curling After Dark, we have live stream commentary available, so feel free to type your questions, comments, suggestions, whatever, over in the commentary, and we'll deal with it as quickly as we can. Keep you all up to date. If you want to follow action on one of the sheets that's not B, let us know. We'll keep you up to date on that as often as we can.
Or if you are one of the currently 33 people in that chat room, and you just want to, say, taunt or heckle the other people in the chat room,
also an option.
That is encouraged and expected.
It is Saturday After Dark curling here at the Cherry Blossom, so yeah, taunting is...
Presumably you're watching because you're a friend or family member of one of the people out on the ice.
True statement.
Other friends and family members of other people are probably in there, and maybe you just want to say that, you know, your dad can beat up their dad at curling.
You know, it happens. And this draw, like all of the draws today, brought to you by Potomac Curling Club, Embassy Row, Korea Bonspiel, coming in November. 24 teams,
44
Korean
now.
barbecue. What could go wrong? Registrations will open sometime this summer, late July, early August. Get your team together, be here. Meanwhile, Broom Shooter 2.
Yeah, I believe so.
After their steal 1 in the first end, throwing the second stone, Andy Hartzig. I don't think he really meant to do that.
Sounded not a good sound.
Judging from the reaction from TJ Burkett, the skip, yeah, that wasn't his plan. But actually, he does actually.
It's not the worst.
No, he does actually have a guard. Apparently, it's exposed on the outside because Paul Schultz is saying to Len Yeager, "Hey, why don't you come get this?"
And I think he's gonna. He's certainly gonna attempt.
Yeah.
So let's go with the rock. I really can't tell if he's gonna hit it or not.
Yeah, it's on the front, on the front.
Oh, that is on the front.
It looks like a, and it's a peel.
also a fine result.
Yeah, peeling is fine.
It was narrow. It was narrow. It actually backed out a little bit. Oh, yeah. It worked. Uh-huh. Right on. It worked. And definitely moved that way.
I think there's been a sub over on D, because that's J.R. Crows curling with Kylo Ren and the Storm Curlers.
Yeah, he is.
I'm
I
not sure.
remember hearing a couple weeks ago that a team needed a person and he was offered a spot. He couldn't take it full time because tomorrow being Easter and all, but he was able to fill in, I guess, for a game or so tonight.
Okay, I'm not sure who he is. He might be being Alex. It might be Alex Terrell. Yeah, I think he is. Okay, meanwhile, single barrel peels out a stone. As the Broom Shooter rink working on guarding up their stone. I believe this is Eric Johnson, the Columbus Vice, throwing his first stone of the end.
Yeah, it is. A little bit. Normally.
This is looking like a nice line to guard.
It's a nice
He's got to
looking
keep
guard.
finishing it. No, it's actually going to.
Get this
nice
guard
looking
That's
going
nice.
down,
That's a
huh?
nice guard.
It's a nice looking guard.
They should.
I suspect we're going to see another peel.
I suspect that's probably the intent, as
Peel.
Mark Robinson.
Which side do you want to go across? I think probably on this side.
Or there may, or he's actually
He might be going for the run back, you think?
looking for the run back double. He'd be content with a peel. Run back double would be
coming
preferred,
down on the left
but
side
he'll be
of this
content
stone?
with the peel, I'm sure.
Okay.
And it's going to be the peel. Stone Fields, TJ Burkett asking Eric Johnson to put the guard back, because it's what you do. When you're trying to steal and you have a stone in the house, you put up a guard. It's what you do.
This end brought to you by Embassy Row Bonspiel and Geico. This end not actually brought to you by Geico.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
Hoping
probably
for a
have
miss,
to
right?
say that.
probably do.
Just
Yeah.
hoping for a miss
Yeah,
at some
Geico,
point.
Geico does not accept any responsibility for anything other than whether my car doesn't crash on the way home.
Call the field to get the run back.
This one looks like it might be over curling for the guard.
I
can't really
don't
tell from
know.
where it is right now.
No, actually, from what I've got, I think it's going to be damn near pro. Now, it's a little over curl, but it's guarding the inside turn. So, I mean, if
Yeah,
Mark wants
I
to
think
go at
that's
it from
probably
the
right.
outside, he can certainly try, but coming from the outside in is always tricky. Nope. Paul Schultz asking for Mark Robinson to accept 2 minutes in the penalty box for slashing.
Roll the same way. Touch more ice. Okay.
Should be a penalty box. Awesome.
Penalty box is what I call that corner of the sheet that's behind the house but still in play.
Yeah,
I call those the penalty box because when your Rocks go in there, they don't get to do anything, but they're still technically in game.
Except possibly trip the skip, which does happen with astonishing regularity, to me at least. And is he gonna? Yep, it's a peel.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I feel like I want a banana.
I don't think so. What'd
I
you
want
have on the
something.
first?
Something smells like dessert in this
Yeah, I
one.
know.
Yeah. Well, there was cake. There was cake earlier,
I
and it
saw
was,
the
and it was
cake,
fairly good.
But something is like fresh baked, and I can't find where it's coming from. I'm guessing the kitchen. I mean, that's generally where baking tends to happen.
Presumably, if the fresh baked food is coming from the bar, we've got something horribly wrong.
There's your shoulder.
So TJ Burkett getting ready to throw his first skips and stone to the end, and it's got to be a guard. Scintillating
I
curling.
mean, we always say, well, I don't know if we always say, I say this occasionally when I get to do it. When you're a skip, you get to throw a guard. Something has gone very well.
Something is kind of horribly right, yes. Scintillating curling here on Curling After Dark. It's a master class in throwing corner guards. Although actually this one looks like it may not get back.
It's over the hog, but that's
It's well
about
over
it.
the hog, and it's actually it's a too deep. I think that's leaving a sliver on the inside.
That got a good finish on the end to actually cover
Yeah,
most of the
but I
stone,
think it's leaving a sliver on the inside. Enough that Schultz is considering not slashing out the guard. I don't know for sure what he is considering, but he's considering not slashing out the
Hey, I haven't missed a guard yet.
Surely half there.
What's he doing? Controls.
Somebody wanted something to do something very hard over on sheet A. It was the hammer in the second end. I believe red took one. Possibly more than one. We'll see what happens when they hang the score. I know red took at least one. No question in my mind on that.
Looked like it could have been a 2, but I couldn't tell where all the rocks were.
Yeah.
They may have already been moving them.
And at our angles, it's really hard to tell on the sheets that aren't B or C.
3-3.
Sometimes it's hard to tell on B or C.
Control.
So Paul Schultz
3-2-5. Okay.
wants to throw a control.
Control.
How are we hearing that? Picking it up on the overhead. Pass the guard. No! Just ticks off the
I
guard.
wonder if he put the mic on his vice or something.
Or it was just loud enough that we picked it up on the ambient.
Well, I was hearing it like the broom. Like, I was hearing that person sweeping.
Well, do we have the mic?
What'd you have? 3-4.
No, someone's definitely wearing...
It was a 2-2, right?
Well, here's my point, though, because the mic's not on. It is now.
Yep. Normal.
Unless I was hearing someone right under an ambient mic, maybe.
I don't know.
I'll put him right back on that shot, so let's take that stone out the back.
Someone took the yellow mic, because it's not out here.
It sucks.
Would love to roll
Didn't
the
move her stone enough to make it expose it.
And I know how much you can see down here, but like I said,
Oh, yeah.
he's going to try to throw that way.
Actually, Mark's got it. Mark Robinson, the vice on Pittsburgh,
Still has a draw for
is
one.
wearing it, but I think he's actually wearing the red mic, which is fine. I'll just have to keep it straight. So TJ Burkett
Still has the whole front court.
throwing his stone. I think he's just trying to freeze or tap that yellow in the back, so he's lying 2. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Mission accomplished. He's lying 2. Paul Schultz basically being forced to draw it.
What do we want here? Yeah, what do we want? What time? What are you thinking? 6-5?
actually.
It's a little bit dicey here.
I think it's one of the sweet.
We think 6'5".
6'5"?
We think.
As long as we're comfy.
Actually, I think Schultz might be wearing it
Okay.
because he was asking a question of his front end. Burkett might have talked him into it.
He might have. The way I was hearing the one sweeper on the last shot, I thought it must have been. Yeah, it's Len. Len is the one mic'd.
Len Yeager's mic'd?
Yeah,
Okay.
based on Amanda Marchitelli's commentary.
Light. It's way light.
Okay.
2.
We completely believe you, Amanda. Thank you.
No
When
way.
we asked at the beginning of the game, we were told that they chose not to mic.
And that does fit
Oh.
that same
We
idea
never threw
of
this side.
Schultz not wanting to wear
That's,
it.
we should have thrown much higher weight.
And so
The hammer gets
the
hogged.
hammer gets hogged. That's unfortunate. So red steals 2. Broom shooter 2 goes up 3-0
Was that
after 2.
Was Red's hitting 2 there?
Yeah, because he made
That
the,
was a-
he had made
that
the
was a
nose
bad
hit.
split time. That was
Oh,
just
right.
bad.
Sit
the nose-
two.
yeah, I forgot. I
On
forgot
that
about
side,
that
that should
shot.
have been much bigger than
Meanwhile, let's see. Other score updates. Sheet A done in the second end. Nutmeg stole 1, up 3-0 over Team Hamilton. Sheet C and Sheet D are running a little late because they got a later start, and that's okay. They're both working their way through their
Switch.
second ends.
Switch.
We know in the first end, the Hackheads from Triangle, Lance Wright is the skip, took a 3 as a steal, if the
That's a
scoreboard's
bummer.
to be believed, to go up against Team Temple in red.
Yeah, it's in the corner.
And on sheet D, Dobbs versus the Evil Empire, Kylo Ren and the Storm Curlers.
It's Kylo Jen Fox.
Jen, you're right.
6'2".
Blanked the first end, so they're in the second end.
2-3.
Both of those games are well into the second end.
Definitely 3.
Yeah.
You noted earlier, J.R.
62.
Gross
That's
is
side,
sparing
we haven't
for
thrown
Kylo
that side.
Jen somewhere on
I
that
think,
team.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
He's never been down that side. We should have been.
Perhaps of note,
we should
he's
have been
sparing in there against his own normal skip, Michael Dobbs, on the other team.
Well, you know, all's fair in love, war, and the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel.
Let it curl if you can. Let it break first.
Awesome. Thank you.
I mean, I've been talking to at least one doubleheader doing that, where I finish one game and someone says, hey, can you spare for me in this next game? And I say, I'd really rather not. And they say, it's against Michael Dobbs. And I go, let me get my shit.
Absolutely.
That wasn't 2 ends
Other
ago.
side or tap it up.
Personally, I'm sick and tired of playing against Michael Dobbs this season. I played him 5 times. He killed my
Did you pull a
kicked my
number?
Built up.
rear end.
What'd you feel last time? 6'5"?
4 of
You
them.
get a
The only
number
time
for
he
that?
didn't was the time he was sick, so he didn't play.
Okay, that's what 64. Tiny bit more.
Well, I will say we didn't have to play you in the third round of the Capital.
That's true because I was busy being down in like 14th place. Sigh. Whereas you guys, if I understand it correctly, are actually still in the running.
If we win next
do you
week
got?
and we get the right help in the weird playoff scenario, it's kind of like in the NFL,
Right.
we can still be top 4. We're probably going to be 5%.
Which is still
Still pretty nice for having to play in at the
for having to play in. And as I recall, I gave you a game.
Yeah, we had to make a double to win the play-in game. Like
Yeah.
the hammer was a double.
I'm still sitting here going, okay. But no, you guys have put together a hell of a season.
Yeah, we have an uncanny ability to make really good teams play like they're not really good teams against
Well,
us.
you know, that's okay. That's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it's a long season. You know, if you can't stay at close to peak form the length of it, you're not going to have a great run.
Yeah.
It helps that our peak form isn't really that.
Yeah, we're actually finishing strong in this last third, but we dug ourselves such a deep hole in the first 2 thirds that it doesn't matter. We could have gone 7-0 and still missed the
That's
playoffs.
my time.
Um,
Oh, heck.
But here in this game, that's actually like 4 something. And
3-0,
Not
yeah.
just a past game that's being talked about. Nice little hit and roll by Broom Shooter.
the second broom shoot, Andy Hartzik.
That is the shot stone.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is. And there's a yellow stone in the 12-foot over on the right. And actually just hanging on in the back, almost off camera, there is a red stone just nibbling in the back of the house.
Yes! 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 Yes, Lord! Yes! Yes!
Past the guard, he's got the hit. Pretty much a nose, just kind of sits put. So now yellow lies 1-2.
And you guys said I
Yeah, you can just sort of see the shadow of that red stone. But
Yeah, just barely. It's there, but it's in the house. It's in the house.
It's on the center line there, so if it's in play, it must be in the house.
Exactly.
'cause they're-
It's by definition, it is in play, and it's just asking for somebody to trip over it. Like I hope TJ's recognizes it's there. Yes, he does. Okay. What is he doing with this, by the way?
Yeah.
Hand, I can tell you were under.
Yeah, it was.
Is there a reason he's splitting out his own stone?
So he doesn't
He
trip
was
over?
fine. That was ice. He did good work. You held it too good.
I'm pretty sure that was exactly not what he wanted to do.
Probably not, unless he just really didn't want to trip over that stone.
Who is announcing with Mike? Hi, Mike. This is Alan. Alan McNeil.
Yes,
Announcing with Mike Rose.
What's T-line
Been doing
do?
it all afternoon.
that's, well, you're announcing
Yeah,
with
what's
Mike
T-line?
Sell.
What's your split?
Mike Sell,
Heidi
Mike
Gross,
Rose.
nice.
Exactly. Good
We're
call.
all
Yes.
one big happy family here.
Too many
Yeah,
mics.
Okay.
Yeah.
5-5. Sure. Tell me what it
Here
is.
we go. There's the rock. There's the camera.
And this is second for yellow, Glenn Yeager. We're told is mic'd up. Oh, yep, and I actually see the mic on his belt. And he actually has the yellow back, so he's got it right. Yay.
Yeah, we got it sorted.
Good, yeah. Yep. Yep.
Looks like he's just going to tap his yellow a little bit, move it over. And the shooter's also in the house, so yellow lies 3. But those top two could be both slashed out without significant significant difficulty. That is, in fact, what TJ Burkett is asking Andy Hartzig, no, his vice, Eric Johnson, to do.
Yeah, I think that's what I call in this spot.
Yeah, absolutely. My question wasn't the call. My question was who was throwing it.
Oh, right. I'm just adding some color commentary.
Oh,
here
yes,
of-
okay. Red is the stuff. So,
It's a rather nice shade of red, if I'm to comment on the color.
lots of sweeping going on here. It looks like they're risking the overcurl. Nah, pretty much it looks like it's a nose, which should do the job. Boom. Oh, no, it's a flat. Ooh, I would not have guessed that could have happened.
Andy.
And neither could they, judging from that half
Stone
giggle.
was fine. It's a shit line.
So,
It never did curl. Didn't curl an inch.
Paul Schultz asking Mark Robertson to
Because look what I gave
pause
Eric
for a moment
last
while he
night,
considers
right?
the situation. And now is drawing behind on the outside of the sheet.
That
If I
is
put my
unusual.
center line with you on it,
Huh?
That seems unusual.
Yeah, done it though?
I mean, if I wanted to draw behind those guards, I would use the, like,
I can't think of a single reason to come from the outside
I
of that
would use
sheet.
the, like, 8 to 10 feet of house that's on
We're
the
gonna
right
need
of those guards.
I don't, and Mark is looking as though he's
What are we
wondering
thinking,
what the hell.
3-3?
I mean, on the plus side, Mark
33.
Robinson is a good enough curler.
33.
He has confidence to throw on the outside of the sheet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, but my skip has confidence in me doing it, so I can fake it.
I don't, and my skip doesn't have confidence in it. It's a problem.
Yeah, I
So
will
here
often
comes-
look at him and go, you want to try the other handle? And the skip says, no, I want this. And I go, well,
All right then.
you're the boss.
So Mark Stone on the way.
really going
Sweepers
wide.
swept it a little bit. That is very wide. I'm pretty sure that's going to be out of play. Hit the
If
bounce
not,
line.
if what is now.
Yeah, it's
Now
definitely.
it's on sheet A.
Yeah, exactly. So for those of you following along for home who may not recognize this, that's the danger of throwing way out to the outside there. If it touches the red line, it's out of play. Even if it can come back, it's done.
Now
It's
we
out of
know.
bounds.
Yeah, if you've only seen curling at the, say, national championship or Olympic level,
You want to roll?
here at the club level, in most clubs, we don't have those big cushy bumpers at the edge of the sheets.
Just a
So
big red
you
line.
really have to be vigilant
over to
about where your
here.
stones go, or else you're going to end up giving the game next to you a 9-ender.
And the traditional somebody dropped a broom there where everybody's dropping the broom because why not?
Just to promote this.
We got to have that on camera. I don't think we've ever had that on camera
Down
before.
normal.
It may be the first time we've captured it on camera. A little scared. Okay, TJ Burkett asking Eric Johnson his advice to tap promote his red on the yellow? Probably. Judging from that line and that weight, that is pretty much call. They're sweeping hard, one sweeper. I'm not sure if it's just the other guys doesn't sweep much or if it's a directional technique.
No, it was a directional call. They called, there was a name called.
TJ dropped his broom, so everyone
And
dropped their
did the
broom.
job. So
I will say, as a vice, that's my favorite part of the advent of the directional sweeping. Is sometimes you just
Skip
get a
has
rock.
to actually know your name.
Well, sometimes you just get a rock off. Like when you have to sweep
the
all
shot
four
here?
before you throw, having to go hard and then
Behind
throw.
corner.
Right.
It's tough, but when
Right,
you,
T-line.
sometimes you just they're just like, no, the other guy. And I'm like, all right, I'll just stand here and watch, and then I can throw, and it's fine.
There's also the advantage of the fact that the skip actually has to learn the names of his other players and actually be able to summon them on command when he needs them at the critical moment.
Oh, I mean,
Which would cause me a problem because I'm lousy with names.
my skip will, due to a lot of reasons, probably never forget my name. And not because my skip is me. It's all the same to me, really.
So Mark Robinson's second stone has all of the sweepers on it. No directional sweeping going on here. This is pure drag
Just
length.
as many brooms as
This
they
is
can
pure
get.
drag length,
They're
and
calling
it's,
people off the bench to come sweep this
and
one.
it's drag enough length, honestly. It
Shot
is
stone.
concerning as a shot stone. However, that being said,
It's not just shot. I believe they're sitting two.
yes.
Both reds are not fully in the house. Both
Correct.
yellows are.
However, comma, that being said, comma, the Yellowstone is completely exposed, and actually, technically, there's a long double. I don't think that's in the cards, but TJ Burkett, or Burkett, I'm not really sure which, is certainly looking to hit that first one.
Take out. Eric would love the crosshouse double.
Ladies and gentlemen, the kitchen is now closed.
Yes,
Well,
lights are off.
Only wants to hit.
And just for the record, we heard from TJ directly, Eric would love the crosshouse double. But really, who would? Doesn't everybody love a good crosshouse double? Except possibly the person whose stone got doubled. But this does not look like that doubles in the cards. I think he's actually likely to wreck on the front guard. No, he's better off than I thought he was. Never mind. He does, however, get the hit, but it's just a nose replace. I'm not 100% sure he got shot out of that, honestly.
I would have thought he was, but no, I think
And it's both rocks, too, so we can't blame the rock.
here's the rocks. You decide.
Yeah.
Good sweep.
Yeah, he's throwing. He's
Take
throwing.
it the Fox News approach. We report, you decide.
I mean, the people at home have
how
as
it-
much
look how
authority
it
on the matter
goes
as we
down.
That's true.
They're all throwing.
do. And as good of a view as we do.
Yeah. Actually, slightly better because I'm having to crane my neck to see over there.
Well, I mean,
Or look at a really small number over there.
was perfect, yeah. We should learn something from this, too.
So let's see what Paul Schultz has in mind here.
It doesn't feel right out there. Like Detroit, it doesn't feel right.
Oh, unfortunately, that's
Unfortunately,
right.
the mic is on the second.
Mike is on the
so-
second, who is way down here, so that does no good whatsoever. Let's try that the other skips mic and see if we can
It's the difference between sand and concrete, isn't it?
cheat. We can. Oh wait, was that a floor disc?
I think they're talking about our floor, yeah.
I think they just had a
We're in a
floor
pretty good
disc.
spot.
That's some things we can do.
Well, we control the front, the center of the house.
Yep.
In the front. This is gonna be tough to get at.
Well, first I thought I had to realize that it was because we put the Columbus guy's mic on. I was like, how can Pittsburgh make a floor disc? They don't even have a building.
Oh, it's because the only way to get the skip down there was to listen to the other mic.
then I realized, like, oh, right, it's Columbus making a floor disc, which they have a building and a floor.
Yeah. not sure how exactly that makes a difference, but you know.
Well, I mean, if it's an arena club talking about our floor. I go,
Well,
what the
sure.
heck?
No.
What
I
room
mean,
do
in
you
terms
have,
of
right?
he was, the Columbus guy was saying, yeah, we missed that shot. That's the difference between sand and concrete. I'm like, I'm not seeing it. I don't know. Regardless,
Unless he found a run in the sheet or something.
Paul's,
but
that's possible.
concrete floors can have runs too.
Paul, I don't know that was really the
That was
stone
an
that he
overdraw.
wanted to hit, but it's a stone he did hit. So, where are we at here? We are getting ready to throw the last skip stones. Yellow will go first. Paul Schultz for Pittsburgh. Kind of everybody involved is kind of looking at the situation. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. TJ Burkett from Columbus is going to shoot first. I'm sorry. I don't know if his battery died or what, because I don't hear him.
And suddenly we can't hear him anymore. Oh, well, he's leaving the house, so maybe he stopped talking.
I don't even hear him. He's talking to his front end right now. I don't hear him either. So I don't know if he accidentally turned off the mic or intentionally turned off the mic, or if his battery has died. Any or all of those such
So what are you
scenarios
doing?
are completely possible.
What are you doing later?
No, I'm hearing somebody. They put the mic on their second or something, too?
No, I see the bump.
Oh.
I wonder if his microphone popped off, his slid down his jacket or something.
I thought maybe both teams agreed to just mic up the front ends so we can hear.
Well, you know, sometimes you just want to hear what are the sweepers doing.
Can't talk. Sweeper.
Going for a gentle tap promote on what may have been his shot stone. It's definitely now the shot stone. And in a position that it's not likely to go away.
Yeah, I think.
Looks like he's probably forcing Paul Schultz to consider a draw.
I don't know how it's laying necessarily.
Maybe the same little tap promote on the yellow rock in the top 12 there. White in the top 12. There's almost kind of a
Drop your
double.
microphone in the toilet.
Okay. You're off.
Quick, turn it back on. No, don't.
Huh?
That's actually really gross. No.
So yellow might actually be on, right? Okay. So it looks like, yep, just calling for the draw. And doing so quietly, not even really actually talking to his front end.
Three, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 6, 5. Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay, looking for something between a 3-6 and a 3-6-5.
This side, yeah. We've thrown this side more, haven't we? Yeah. I like 5. I like 5, 5. I'm okay with that.
So I'm an experienced enough curler to know what that means. I am not a skilled enough curler to be able to do that with any sort of regularity.
4, 5.
And that's way heavy then if he's looking for a 6-5. But they're on it, so apparently they're.
I think it's a line call.
It's light.
No, it's just over curling.
Should have held it.
Yeah.
Could have got it.
So
Yeah, that was actually pretty close to the weight, but that's going to be another.
red steel 1.
Yeah.
Yep, red steel 1.
Yeah, the line killed it at the end.
Oh.
All right.
We should just put it down.
Digging a hole.
Huh?
So it looks like the battery did just die
Okay.
in TJ's mic.
Do we have any spares?
Oh yeah, we have a whole box of them, but he's holding it in his hand instead of either setting it down or putting it away or anything like that. So I don't know.
No way. I was going to punch that right on. We had the whole back of the house. I got the rock. Just go to the house. The hack. It's all right. 4, 5. Yeah. Yeah, it was light. Last couple shots, I feel like he's been taking something off of it at the end. Yeah, not really grabbing it, but it just seems like his momentum's coming down at release. I was disappointed that that moved that much at the end, too, when we came off it.
All right, battery situation sorted, I think.
So both skip mics should be live again.
Assuming he's put it back on.
He did turn it back on as soon as we changed the batteries.
Right,
We
I'm
know
saying as
that.
soon as he actually physically put it back onto his person. Or someone's person. We're flexible here. Put it on anybody. Actually, that one game we had where we had nobody wearing it.
Give me a 3.
And we had GN running back and forth getting us updates. We should just put one on him and let him just go out there.
That would have been a great idea. That would have been a great idea. Keep that in mind for next time around.
I've brought it up as like we should just have an extra wireless mic for an on-ice correspondent to just do interviews from behind the glass.
Pretty sure they won't let us do that during juniors in December.
Eric, stay
But
with it. I need you to bring it back. I want to.
we could interview the coaches. That would be.
Interview the parents.
Well, I thought.
Who
I'm
actually
sorry,
often
I
are the
fucked that
coaches.
up.
Not necessarily. Well, actually, at that
And
level, probably.
Sorry for the language.
Well, yes and no. Some are, some aren't.
Yeah, in some of the cases, yeah.
Okay, so anyhow, back to the action. Oh, for one thing, we are on near sheet.
Some of those
Hit the
top
back
junior
one, yeah.
curlers are top junior curlers because they are the children of top adult curlers.
Yeah, it helps. Okay, so what's going on here? We have red has a shot in the back 8 on the center. Yellow is currently the second stone in the top 12 off to the right, left for your screen. And
It's OC, it's OC.
there is a yellow stone just in the top 12. It's currently the third shot. Nice tap hit for, who was that, Daphne Roberts?
Yep, little nose takeout in the
Yep.
back of the house. Yellow lies 2 now.
Elias too.
Take it out,
So
Andy.
meanwhile,
Are they slippery? Is it
in
all
other
on the
games,
first
Sheet A has gone through the third end, and Hamilton
I was gonna
was
use
limited to his
Brian
one,
said you
so
shouldn't
he
right
is
away
down
because, like,
3-1
you
out.
can like really fall down with it because you're not
Sheet
used
C
to
and
it.
D are still working their way through
Yeah.
the third end. And TJ Burkett's got his sweepers on this pretty hard,
Well then, Josh.
and then he let it go. It's going to at least tap his top guard, or is this going to overcurl enough to promote it? Oh, it's
Gonna raise it.
Too deep. Second
Right.
shot, which is what it was before. Now
Just a
it's
little
behind the
down.
tee instead of in front of the tee.
You're all right. It's almost over, buddy.
Now Paul Schultz communicating with Len Yeager. And I'm guessing based on line that he is trying to take the red that was just delivered out. Actually, it wasn't just delivered, it was just tapped. Close enough. One sweeper on it, just keeping it clean, getting it to slightly outside the nose. Nicely done. So yellow lies 3 at the moment. And they do have the hammer. So a big end here would be very useful to them because they are down 4-0.
Yeah, but they've got those 3 in the house now. They're all counting. There's definitely no triples. There might be a double or maybe only 2 in the back.
Yeah.
First.
But it would be a long double and it would have to be very precise.
So as long as they can just
It all starts to
answer
run
all the
together,
red
right?
shots, they are setting up to at least
Well,
get a
you
2.
know, this actually might tick that red guard. Yep.
Okay.
Enough that it's going to at least head it over.
Good sweep.
And got taken far enough out. However, the shooter actually spun over to the other side of the house. So the shooter's now actually sitting 3. Now it's completely exposed, so there's absolutely nothing keeping Schultz from picking it out.
What's that one, Paul?
Which he could probably choose to do later because, you know, he doesn't need to do it right this second.
Yeah.
Schultz is taking a look, but yeah, it's...
I mean, if he can take it out and not jam in the back, which, I mean, there's plenty of lines of not jamming. It's hit 4.
And he considered it, but he... Yep,
Some kind of draw or guard is also good. I mean, really, there's not a lot of bad plays here for yellow.
He's taking the hit. So the big thing, like you said, the big thing he needs to guard against is the jam. He's got 3 good holes to put this through, so the primary thing he needs to watch out for is to not be a nose.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, Mark! Yes! Yes! Yes!
This should be fine. Question is, how far is the shooter going to roll?
It doesn't even really matter if it rolls out.
No, it doesn't really.
I mean, you'd love to get it to stick around.
And it did, in fact, roll out. So we're working our way on towards, yep, we're on Vice Stones. First Vice Stone, Eric Johnson for Columbus. TJ
Take it
Burkett
out. Normal.
doing a normal takeout. Sure, he wouldn't mind if he accidentally rolled to sit 2, but he's not going to fight over it either. Pretty much going to be a nose hit. Minimal roll.
Good time.
Third end has completed
nice
over on
effort.
sheet C.
That was a nice effort to
Team
hold that.
Temple stole 3 to go up 5-3 over the Hackheads. Sheet D still working on the third end. They got a very much later start than all the other games.
Control, right? Okay. 3-2, 3-1.
It's generally what I think of as control.
3-2, 3-1?
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody's ever successfully stopwatched me. Ever.
Well, that's also you throw at the stick, so it would be a completely different time.
Yeah.
Down!
Days per meter or something.
Hogsheads for 14.
Exactly. Hogsheads per meter. Both sweepers are on this trying like heck to keep it straight enough. Looks like they're going to. They've got the hit. It's going to roll over.
It was a good down weight hit to not spill too far.
But
although it does leave a double.
Yeah, it very much leaves a very doubly opportunity. A very doubly opportunity. Sounds like a very special episode of Different Strokes. Okay. TJ has apparently figured out what he's got in mind.
Now I'm just reminded of the abomination that was the KFC double down, the chicken sandwich.
Oh, come on, that was awesome. Who wouldn't want a sandwich where the bun was meat? And the meat was more meat. I had one on a dare. It was disgusting.
No.
I don't know if the stone's going to come off the center line far enough to make contact. It did not. It is a flat.
No, not even a little tick.
So now yellow's in a situation where they could, instead of being 3, they could be 4.
They can and guard the double at the same time.
And guard the double at the same time. So scoring guards, always a lovely thing.
Josh wants a score on A. Well, you know what, Josh? You
Split.
can-
You can have one. Currently 4-2,
Yes.
top
That's what I'm
four
saying.
over Team Hamilton. Or is it 4-1?
What are we
Four to
doing here?
nothing
What are we
more
thinking?
than 2. I think
I
actually
have
maybe
no
one.
idea, Mark.
4-1.
Yellow has a score, but
Yes, I
Travis
believe
is
it's 4-1.
standing in front of it. So.
Six.
Exactly. I'm waiting for Travis to move enough that I can see.
Top 8 is what we wanted, right?
You can see it on my camera, but it's an image the size of a postage
Yeah,
stamp.
the reason I
so
had
it looks
It's
like
2.
maybe a 2.
4-2.
If it didn't work out, I still had a jam.
Big.
4-2.
1, 2, 3.
Top 4 from Nutmeg ahead of Team Hamilton.
He gotta get some.
Central Virginia Curling. Curling Club of Central Virginia.
There's no central. It's just Curling Club of Virginia.
Curling Club of Virginia?
Yeah, CC is Curling Club. And VA
Okay,
is-
I don't know why I always thought Central was involved.
Also, they're in Richmond, which is nowhere central.
It's not.
There is.
Well, it's a little south, but it's pretty central.
It's more, well, it's not really coastal, so yeah, I guess.
No, I got
They call themselves Central Virginia. I used to live there.
Okay, then that's
I didn't
fair.
know the
Of course, they
split.
also call themselves the capital of the Confederacy, despite
Yeah,
the fact the war ended, what,
82.
100 years ago.
He was 82, but he was this.
Well, they were the
So I
last.
figured that it
Yeah,
was like
I know.
probably 6.
No other city has claimed the title since then.
So
There's a reason for that, I'm sure.
it's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Okay, let's see here. Back to our game.
They retired.
So,
Well, I was going to say they didn't retire undefeated. They're 0-1, I guess.
I'll ask a lot of the folks from Virginia, from Richmond, and yeah, they're just taking a break to rearm. TJ Burkett throwing his first of 2 skip stones.
That could be another country we could do for Embassy Road.
Yeah, because the Confederacy spiel, there's no way people would take that poorly. No, not at all. Gets nothing out, actually.
Oh, wow. I mean, they must be at least out counting a lot of that stuff now.
Well, yeah, I mean, currently red is currently shot.
Well,
No
right,
question.
but if that red wasn't there, how many yellows are counting? It looks like
At least 2. Possibly 3, maybe 4. Kind of depends on this red over here.
It's like last year.
Up on here to show everybody.
So red is definitely 1, yellow is definitely 2, yellow is definitely 3. 4, 5, and 6 are in the back of the 12-foot. It's kind of a question of which one's closest. Keep in mind, those of you following along for home, for the 75th time that I've said today,
I pulled up the
is that
backwards
our
overhead camera.
does not exactly. And Mike Hope. Hello, Mike.
Damn right.
Welcome to Curling After Dark, the Columbus versus Pittsburgh version. Glad you could join us. So Paul Schultz looking to take out that red stone, thereby making it so that we know that yellow will be sitting at least 3. From there, Lord only knows.
Yellow will be scoring 3-5.
Exactly. Although both teams still have 1 more stone to sit.
Normal down.
Len Yeager seemed to indicate it was kind of a normal down, and I'm kind of seeing what he's saying. This is not coming back enough. It's going to hit his own stone.
It'll get the red, but by way of getting the yellow, it didn't really get the red. It's out counting it.
Counting it.
You hit the broom and it just ran off.
That was not the desired outcome.
3-1.
Gonna give you more ice.
How'd you get, 3-1?
Tap it back and you peel it, that's okay too.
Both teams
Yeah.
do have another stone yet, so we're not. These lookings are just lookings
Sucks.
to be, well, looking.
Line's good.
It sounds almost profound. These lookings are just lookings.
Have you ever really looked at a curling house? It's all so round.
Oh my God, Becky.
All I want to do is put this through there.
Exactly.
It's so round.
It's up
All
there.
right,
They're
sheet
playing really well. I
D
mean,
hangs a
their
1
ability to use guard
for or
was really pretty amazing.
whichever
when
team's
they were
red,
doing that kind of-
which I don't
that
actually
was just
know.
like over and over and over, like
D.
automatic. It was like 2 or 3 shooters doing the same
I gotta
thing.
get up more. I gotta get up
That's
way.
really
D
strong.
is, I'm saying the
Gotta get way
68
up.
team, but they're both.
Yeah.
D is whichever team has Christine, Alessi, and Scott Burke.
Dobbs is red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christine is in the hack, and Scott Burke is sweep.
I gotta work a little bit. They're thinking. That's good, right?
All
I
right,
don't know
so
who
that
else
means
is
that
on.
Sheet D's score is currently
Think a little, huh?
4-zip after 3 in favor of Team Dobbs.
Made him think that time. It's a moral victory, right?
All right,
Let's take it out. It's pretty
TJ
much the same shot as last. I just gotta get my weight up.
TJ Burkett going to hit the Yellowstone that is currently shot. He probably wouldn't
I dropped
mind
that
if one of
there for a
those
reason.
yellows got ticked out on the way by. Actually, I guarantee he wouldn't mind. Stone is on its way. Andy Hartzig and Josh Webb staying close, not brooming it at the moment.
All over the
Got the
yellow.
hit, and the shooter's rolling,
That's not bad at all.
still being second shot.
A little too much ice, but
And honestly, there is no double opportunity.
so
So
Yeah,
all
you did.
single barrel is
You
left
suffered
with
too
as an
much.
option
Well,
is basically
I'll
the
blame you.
nose
It's
hit.
I first I thought I took
I
too
mean,
much
the
ice,
draw
but
could
it's
work
actually-
also, but I really can't blame
That's the way to go,
Paul
man. You're
for
right.
saying, I'm just going to hit this on the nose, and I'm just going to stick around.
I-
I can roll a little bit. I can roll pretty much in any direction I want as long as I don't roll more than 4 feet.
Yeah.
Normal.
And
hit,
it's probably
nose.
easier if you're not sure about the weight
Just
for
for
the
2 or
draw.
1.
It's easier
Yeah.
if you just throw it
I did not
hack
call
or
him a sweep.
bump or
He was
weight.
sweeping
You
on
just
the-
let the
on the
sweeper
normal
steer it to the nose.
Yeah, exactly, especially since,
And they've done it a few times this
Yeah.
end. So
yeah, so this is very likely to be a hit for 1. Kind of feels like it might be a little tight. Both sweepers are on it. One sweeper came off of it. They're trying to do some sort of wacky running around the stone bridge. That could have been a disaster if something happened. I think they slid past. They did. Oh dear. Oh dear. That would be 2 red.
Don't take off.
Yes, just 2 red because there's a yellow in the top 12. It's definitely a third stone. So 2 red to go up 6-0 after 4. There's a degree of when it rains, it pours.
This reminded me so much of last year's game.
And I'd say that's an accurate description of what went on there.
yeah, and it happens a lot in curling.
Oh, yeah,
You see a lot of, even at the top level, you see games that end up like 10-2. Because when you get behind, you have to start taking a lot of risks
Yeah.
and playing a lot of weird shots.
Exactly.
And they don't go right, and you just fall further behind.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of 4-point victories. You
Yeah,
see a lot
you
of
see
1-point
ones
games or
and
7 or 8.
eights,
Yeah.
Bring it in.
And that's just the nature of the game. And so sometimes the scoreboard will lead you to believe that a game was not a good game when it
Yeah.
still could have been.
Yeah,
6.
and yeah, I agree with you, Amanda. Oh man, that's about the best way to put it.
Yeah. I was afraid to sweep it from that side, so I'm just going to take it further over there.
First
you know,
shot
if-
for room shooters, placed up in the top 12 on the center line.
You said it once.
Effectively
and then you
guarding
said
the
it again,
button.
And then you said it again.
I'll say this though, it's 11:30. If they play 2 more ends, there's a reasonable chance they're going to be played on Sunday
7-7.
regardless.
True 7. There will be, yes, will be Sunday morning curling before all is said and done.
This is a 2-3. How close do you want it? No, leave it.
And I mean, this game's not over. It's a six-point lead.
But it's
There's
only
still
4
4 ends to go. I mean, Red scored their 6
Red-
points in 4 ends.
Yeah, and I mean, red gets a 3 here, then they're right back in it.
Yellow, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, yellow. Yeah, red gets a 3 here.
Fred
it's
gets,
just
Fred
getting
gets a
worse.
3 here. We might as well switch to another sheet.
I didn't.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
4.
I hope we don't get to it.
Just
Huh?
a 4
I
or
hope we
5
don't get to
anywhere's
it.
good.
Yeah, if we get to it. Let's not get to it.
Sorry.
is it?
Sweeping
I'm gonna
awfully
take this
hard.
10 and then roll me to center.
Is this going to
Andy, roll me
potentially
to
be,
center.
they got to rub
That's
off,
fine too, thank you.
turn it into a high guard on the side. I don't think that's what they were asking
No, I think it was a draw behind the guard, but
for. Yeah.
What are we looking at here? 3-3, 3-2?
Meanwhile, in the women's world, Japan is threatening to eliminate Russia and move into the final. They're up 5-3 after 9.
wow.
That was a surprise. I don't think anybody had Japan getting this far, and potentially even going back in.
You've got a lot more confidence than I do.
Honestly, I don't even know that I would have seen Russia go this
Take
far.
it out.
Actually, the Russian women's team is usually really strong.
Yeah.
On the men's side, you don't usually see Russia go that deep.
No, Russia's men's team doesn't make very deep at all.
It just, I was like,
Generally, men's world curling championship
That was
and
like
men's
the
European
Olympics.
curling championship looks a lot like the same thing.
Well, other than Canada.
Right.
And the United States makes an effort,
Whoa.
but we show up. We get a lot of participation trophies. Although this year, I think Schuster's really planning on making some noise.
He made a lot of noise last year.
Shot.
Was he fifth and lost the playoff on a tiebreaker?
Yeah, exactly. He was in a
Good shot, Andy.
Or tied for fourth and lost the tiebreaker?
yeah. But unfortunately, that last year didn't count for points. This year does.
Oh.
See what Schuster does. I saw him back in Las Vegas, the Continental Cup in January, and he was playing pretty strong. So, I mean, I like his odds. Of course, I liked Erica Brown's odds also, and that didn't go so well. Len Yeager throwing his second, I believe, throwing his stone as a second, that's for certain. Got the hit. And clears the red out of play.
That works. The fact that it ticked the guard first, I wasn't sure if it was going to be able to hit that rock in the house
Right.
hard enough, but it moved it out.
Same shot, Andy.
Nothing in the house now. So
No, house is empty. Cupboard is bare as Andy Hartzig prepares. Is Andy right? Yep. Throws his second stone, fourth stone at the end for Broom Shooter 2 team.
It's a little wide. Roll. All the way, John.
we're red?
Good shot.
Got the yellow guard out of the way. Shooter did not roll
Red
into the
and happy,
house.
You're making Andy feel bad.
no, it doesn't look like it.
No, it's a good 2 inches outside, no question.
Draw. Yep. What's the split? Six. 5-5. Tell me what it is.
Len Yeager's second stone, fourth stone to the end
I
for
go.
single barrel.
Oh, shoot.
He doesn't feel like he likes his stone much.
Doesn't seem bad.
Sweepers are working it awfully hard to the extent the skip had to come out and join in.
Oh, it was just the weight. Yeah.
Yeah, it was short. It's short,
I would say the line was pretty nice.
but it is short.
If it had the weight, it definitely wouldn't have needed as much help
Sorry,
on the
guys.
line.
But unfortunately,
I think you can get them
it is
both.
short. So we now move on to Vice Stones. Eric Johnson
Well, I was, you know,
being
still too
asked
light.
to.
I didn't get what if you would if I would have hit what you wanted, I would have been right there.
Not sure what he's being asked to do, frankly.
Andy! Hard, Andy!
Or we just remove some stones. Probably just remove some of those yellow cards just to make sure they can't possibly be used against him in court a while later.
Good shot.
Knocked that first one through. And that's fine, because, you know, a stone that's behind the house never scores.
Yeah.
Is it his fault?
6-5.
My deep zen moment at the end.
That's a true statement.
I hear you.
Mark Robinson getting ready to throw his first vice stone. He's being asked to duck behind the cover.
7-5 with, yeah. $75 with T.
Feels heavy to me. They called it T, but this feels deeper than T to me.
Yeah, finish. Yep.
Yeah, it feels more back 8.
How many people were sweeping that rock? I mean, I'm pretty sure it was only 2 because it could only be 1 from each team on the tee. But
Yeah.
I think there were a lot more than 2 people.
It did kind of feel like a lot more brooms than it did than it was, didn't it? All right, so it is a quarter exposed or quarter buried, but only a quarter. That's not enough to even dissuade Eric Johnson from coming at it.
It's also deep. So
Yeah.
Whoa!
TJ asked Eric to make the hit.
oh, this looks like it's bending a lot, but I can't usually read these on the camera.
Oh yeah, it's there.
Roll it.
And it should have enough to stick. Rolled over to the other side of the sheet a little bit, but it's exposed in the back 8, back 12. Paul Schultz asking Matt
Yeah,
Robertson
you're right about that.
to hit it, I assume.
7-5.
Mark Robinson?
Pretty good set.
Plus.
Yes, we called him Matt Robertson.
Did I call him?
Which is not his first or his last name.
Possibly Mark Robinson.
Someone, whoever's in the hack is going to throw a
This
rock.
guy.
This guy.
Is going to throw a hit.
Good one.
I said it was more with names, didn't I?
Back house.
Back house is too much.
I don't know. I thought the last
I mean,
one
if it's in
was.
the house, it's fine, but it's not in the house is the problem here.
I think it's in the
See, Paul, you let this one go.
parking area in the back. Yep.
Yeah, when they said back house, he meant he threw it to the back of the ice house.
Yeah, apparently.
57 plus. What'd you have?
Okay, fifth end is
Yeah,
over
so
on
just a
sheet
biter.
A. We don't know the score, but we know that they're kicking stones
This?
around.
Or this. Yeah, I do. Because I'll probably get some goofy jam.
And I see a Team Hamilton
I don't
player
know.
getting ready to throw, so presumably they got a point in the
Drawing
fifth.
tonight, or this game.
At least one, maybe
But-
more than one. We'll
Shouldn't
see.
have to draw.
Travis is in the house calling a shot.
Yeah.
We're doing an interpretive dance about calling a shot.
I call it the fanciful
Let's peel
unicorn.
peel our guard furthest left.
It's like it's my thumb, but that's it.
It's okay. You know. It was always yelling in for pushing too. Sometimes I wasn't.
Josh, be ready to push it.
And just for the record,
But
his
don't do
lead
it until you're at.
promptly hogged the stone.
NASCAR friendly? What?
So apparently the dance was,
Signals got crossed.
yeah.
To study the
Oh,
code
not so
book.
well. We're off by a little bit. Just missing.
So TJ was,
These guys are playing pretty well.
Roll it!
We're missing, like, you know,
hitting
by a little tiny bit.
and knocked that top red
That's a
through the
misline. I
house.
should have had you on it, Josh. That's he doesn't know. You shouldn't be sweeping line without being told. That's my fault. You don't know that line. It's my fault. No.
I don't think that was what he had in mind.
I yelled at him for last end when he was sweeping without us.
I mean, unless they're just using their own rocks for target practice at this point.
Possible, I suppose, but all right, Paul Schultz. Looking to draw in behind the cover. A full 8 would be kind of what he's looking for here. Pretty much needs to make both of his skipstones score here to start the crawl back into this. Crawl would be the correct word.
$6-5. T.
So Team Hamilton only got a 1 in the 5th end. It's 4-3
Not killing
over
it.
there
It's
on
coming
sheet
down.
A after 5.
It's coming down.
They're sweeping the heck out of this. All 3 brooms on it. It's shot, probably, but it's exposed. It's not behind the cover.
Put it right on the center.
So
6-5, under the beam.
Where do I end up over here, don't I? Take it out. Roll the other way. I'd love to roll behind the guard over there.
he's looking for the takeout. I think he may have given this a lot. He gave us a lot of ice. Having to come off the center line. I don't know.
Finish, please.
Might be a flash. Was in fact a flash.
If I throw the right way, it'd be fine.
I wonder if it maybe pushed the yellow enough that it's not shot anymore.
No, it's still shot. I don't even think he actually touched it.
No, it moved about an inch or so to the right.
I can throw hit weight again.
But
I mean, it
So we
didn't
don't
move
have
it
to adjust.
away from center. So if it was shot, it's still shot. If it's not, it's still not.
I'm pretty sure it's still shot. And I'm thinking what Paul Schultz and Mark Robinson are discussing down there is the possibility of doing a minor, very light freeze tap on that one in the red, that red in the back, just to make sure. So they would then be lying too.
Well, it doesn't really have to be all that light because this is the hammer.
Oh, is it? Oh, yes, it is. By George. You're correct.
So if the yellow is shot, then just basically draw to the infoot for 2.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then move that red for 2.
Yeah, and they're calling for, I think they're insurance policy, I suspect. Just kind of want to tap it just to make sure.
What are you trying to do here?
Well, especially because if you go for it and you roll off,
Okay.
you still get your 1. Not that that helps them at this point.
3-3. 3-3, 3-4.
Unless maybe just the hammer is cursed and they just can hand it to the other team and then they will presume to steal 6.
It's an option. Stranger things have happened. So over on sheet C, in the 4th end, the Hackheads took 2, I'm sorry. That game's tied at 5 between Teen Temple and the Hackheads. After 4. Sheet D, we still don't know the 4th end score, even though they're curling the 5th.
It's curling a lot, but it's light, so I think if once it makes contact, it's not going to roll off.
It's not going to get contacted. Curling's going to curl past. So probably yellow 1. They're taking a look. Honestly, if I was red, I would say yellow 1.
Yeah, I've done that actually at least once. Not to like concede it or as a mercy or anything, but just benefit of the doubt. Like it's probably yellow,
Well,
and I don't want to waste the time measuring.
That and also honestly taking the hammer at this point with that big lead is not by any stretch of the imagination a problem. But it looks like we're reaching for the measuring stick.
Sure, why not?
Might as well.
Saturday night, let's measure.
This measurement brought to you by the Embassy Row Bonspiel, Korea, coming in November. Team entries will open sometime in July or August. Pay attention to curldc.org for more information.
Barkeep. Oh, sorry.
Slid
Ran
that
right into you. We're winning.
Oh
Right
my
now.
God, what?
Cutlass, please. They're measuring, so I figured it's time for a beer.
Better way.
Or it could be time for a beer.
Why?
Also an
This
option.
measurement brought to you by Anheuser-Busch.
By the Potomac Rowing Club Bar. Lots of alcohol available for everyone.
Thank you. They're beating themselves right now. We stole the first 4 ends.
Possibly the first 5 ends. We haven't finished this measurement.
And nope, yellow does in fact take the one to cut the margin
Oh, that
to
seemed
6-1 after 5.
Much closer than that. Indicated.
Yes, Heidi wants to say South Korea, so there's a confusion.
Yeah.
That's a good
That
idea.
is interesting. Oh, come on. Embassy Row, North Korea. Embassy Row, Bonspiel, North Korea would be so, well, sad, actually. So,
I mean, we wouldn't be able to web stream it, probably.
because you can't do
All
the
right,
web
throw
for
it
North
through.
Korea.
Well, that, or we would just tell you what happened, and it may or may not ever actually be what happened.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah.
Great leader scored an 8-ender today. He
Yeah.
scored 4 of them, actually, to win 32-0. We can say that because no one from North Korea can
It's
go.
actually, yeah. I'm gonna go out on a limb and bet of our 29 viewers, not a single one of them is from North Korea. Now, if you or I happen to mysteriously vanish in the next few days, somebody please come get us. Thanks.
If Dennis Rodman could go over and come back, I think we're fine.
Yeah.
1-2.
Oh, I thought you said whoa, and then I thought you said go.
Go.
I don't say go.
Go, whoa. Joe, sometimes.
No bench, you bet.
And actually, I think in the
Yeah, I bet, I'm
actual
sure,
World Curling Federation stuff, they don't refer to it as South Korea. They refer to it as Korea.
I mean, the official
Nice shot,
name is
Cal.
the Republic of Korea. There's no
Like
sound.
when you walk
Yeah.
in and out the door, you walk by that smells like a
But
porta potty.
regardless,
Yeah.
Ms. Gross is correct. It is the South Korea
I haven't taken notes
embassy
on
robots. But I don't even think we have a North Korean embassy, do we? So we couldn't have an
take a
embassy
painkiller.
robots people in North Korea.
Yeah, bring it on.
No, I
Because
don't.
we're like at war with them technically still. Technically.
Yeah, technically, yeah, that's right. There was a ceasefire, but not an actual street.
Yeah.
I got it. I got the rock. Just get in the house. Get in the house. Get in the hack. I got the.
Good stuff.
I know. Whatever. It's all the same. Language is just, what it is.
I think they're getting metaphysical out there on the sheet, too. I'm not sure what the beginning of that conversation was, but anything that ends with language is what it is. Can't be good.
I had an 88, so we need like a 65, 6-0 here, I think. This is a slow side, too.
He's being remarkably precise with his rock measurements for something he gets timed by hand.
68. It's not that big.
You're like a 3.
Just picks the guard over.
Yeah, I've thought about having the rock watcher on my broom fitted to also be like a radar gun. But
I don't want to deal with this.
Seems
I'd
like
love
it'd
to
probably
split
be a
the
bad
house,
idea.
but
Second one
why
of those.
I
bother?
violate some sort of FCC regulation. On it.
Yeah, I don't actually
Why
know if
monkey
that
with it?
probably would be against the rules. Probably no rule, technically.
It's just one of those, like, it doesn't say a dog can't play basketball.
Although I'm going out on a limb and betting that they would ban that like instantaneously as soon as they realized.
As soon as they see, like, the laser beam come out of the front of your broom, they're like, nope, nope, that's,
Yeah, no, not doing that.
we're making a rule about that now, in the middle of a game.
How are things going on D? Well, we are playing the fifth end. They have not actually hung the fourth end score.
The first was a blank, the second was 3 red, the third was 1 red.
Right.
Red, in this case,
Being Team Dobbs.
Team Dobbs, yes.
So currently, the end of 3, Dobbs is up 4-0. The fourth end has been completed, and in fact, we're a goodly ways into the fifth end, but we have no clue what the score is because the teams did not hang it yet.
6.
If I wanted to try to do some, like, meta-analysis, I would say I think that means it was probably yellow that scored because
What's the time?
their spare is playing vice, and so he probably is not used to being a vice.
That's not
having to
moving.
hang the score.
Well, let's see. Dobbs has hammer, so yes. Well, no, that actually doesn't mean anything. Oh, no, yeah, it does. Yellow score. There we go. They just they thought of us. Thank you. They must have got our psychic waves as they just hung that it was a 1. Kylo Jen and the Storm
That didn't
Curlers got that 1 to be down 4-1
What was the
against Team
split?
Dobbs. So I guess Team Dobbs now assumes the mantle of being the Rebel Alliance, right?
Move a little more, 5-5. 55 on this side, sure.
Yes. They don't pay me at all. In fact, I pay for the privilege. Tech Muse is apparently Dobbs' mom. Well,
Yeah, I knew that, but I'm glad she announced it to the chat there because I didn't know if I was supposed to disclose that or not.
Okay. Well, now we know for sure. And nice tap out of the yellow. The red rolls to be the primary guard. Red is lying 1. And that's all that's in the house at the moment.
55.
We are in the 6th end.
The score was updated, but what end we were in was not.
What's the split?
Yeah, you know, details.
Ah, shit.
I don't think he's happy. Again, we have mics on some of the players in the room.
Sorry, guys.
They're not censored or filtered or anything, so.
Well, you know, I mean, it's midnight.
It's also, 11:54 on Saturday night.
If it was any saltier than that, we would just turn it off, but
Yeah.
What do I do now?
it's the internet. You're on the internet. You've heard worse.
I'm sorry, Mark.
Probably the last 10
I'm
minutes,
sorry,
honestly.
Mark.
You like this?
I mean, Heather Netherwood gets away with it on
That's
TV.
gone
Yeah. All right, so we do have a 5th end score over on sheet A. Team Hamilton took a 1 with the hammer.
gonna suck.
They're down 4-3
Who's winning
after
again?
5.
Oh, she
Very competitive game over there in the other B event semifinal between the top 4 rink, skipped by Andy from Nutmeg, against Team Hamilton from the Curling Club of Virginia.
To answer the question, the sort of what I think was probably a hypothetical question, who let Len have a mic?
Just Josh.
So
Just Josh.
we offered to skips first, and so it was Paul and TJ, and Paul declined, which
Yeah,
is
that
his right to
crappy
do.
4.
And when TJ was getting mic'd up, he said, he took both and said,
No wonder I threw last time.
I'll talk them
I'll
into
go
wearing
get
one.
Paul to wear it.
15 feet faster.
Yeah.
And I guess they put it on the second. Oh, someone's asking, did someone fall in A? It looks like they did, because they are helping someone off the ice.
Yeah, I didn't actually see what happened.
I don't know what happened to you.
It's looking like he might be hurt.
Yeah, and looking down, I'm seeing them getting him up on the delay on the
Oh, no.
feed, so
Yeah.
it was a bit ago.
And he's coming into the warm room. He's kind of half laying down. We do have a couple people who have a little bit of
got an
medical
injury
background
timeout?
here, so hopefully
He lied
I don't
on
know.
the floor right now.
they'll get him taken care of. They're taking a brief timeout on A for obvious reasons while they look through that.
What happened, Sam? Oh. I thought he had a heart attack.
So we'll update you. We'll update you on the condition as events warrant. Hopefully, it's just a minor. He just fell down and took
Either
a bump.
he may not have actually fallen. He may have just been having some sort of issue and then tending to him while he was standing. Maybe he was sort of feeling woozy or something. I didn't actually see him go down.
5-5. 5. 6'5".
We've got a bunch of different
6'5" positive, yeah. 6'5" positive.
suppositions about what's going on. We're not going to speculate.
No,
it's not
he's
really
gonna
our place to
put
do
positive,
so. So he's
Like
being looked at by
little
some
bit.
folks here. He's being given some water and some ice and stuff.
Yeah, we've got
And-
different people here that just happen to be
88
members. We don't
little
have
bit.
necessarily
It's like-
medical staff on hand all the time. We do have nurses in the
It's like,
club and doctors.
well, maybe it's all right.
And, you know, if necessary, the nearest hospital is only a couple miles away. The ambulance comes here all the time. Trust me, I know. I took that ride once.
Right, and if it were particularly serious, I'm sure the hockey rink we're attached to does have medical staff or trainers.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's anybody there.
True. Saturday night at midnight.
I know the rink right out here is closed.
It was at
Directly
88. It
games
was a little
happen sort of
light.
at all hours just due to ice time. But yeah, I think at this
So you
point they
probably
probably
took it to
are. At this point,
65
only
instead
open
of-
for the bathrooms for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you probably took it to 65 and, you know.
Do what?
But we don't think it's anything. We don't believe it's anything overly serious. So it's just somebody getting some assistance.
I mean, they helped him up, helped him in the warm room. They're tending to him in the warm room.
Yeah.
I think you can get it here.
It doesn't seem to be an emergency, so we're back to the game. Right. And the game he was in is,
Is carrying
the show
on.
is going on.
5.
And incidentally, in that game, in the sixth end, the Nutmeg team took one with the hammer to go up 5-3. In the fifth end on sheet C, the Hackheads from Triangle hung a 3. They are now up 8-5 over Team
Gonna be
Temple
you, Josh. It's
from
gonna be you.
Pittsburgh, as that game is in the sixth end.
Yeah, Josh.
A nice red draw.
It's only the 6th end. It feels like it's like the 12th end.
Oh, almost full. 8 foot, so they are boom, boom, boom. They are redlining 3. Meanwhile, in extra ends at the World Criminal Championship, Japan and Russia are playing at 5. Japan has the hammer.
If you're here, it's going to go very straight.
You may hear occasional oohs and ahs in the background.
It might dive in on that line. We'll find out.
Probably violating some sort of copyright thing by giving updates on that game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball.
6%.
I mean, Curling Zone can do it. So.
Good point.
42% humidity.
Peel this out. Peel it out.
Same.
But we don't have the express written
Same.
consent of
Little
Major League
light.
Baseball.
Little
So,
down.
so it's a good thing we're
3.
commenting on curling in that case.
Yeah, good point. Yellow trying to draw through the port for a tap, but I don't think he's going to. Nope, it's not clean. Rex on a guard, Rex on a couple guards. Ends up coming way short. And Paul Schultz has kind of got that hangdog look of,
What'd you have?
what do you want me to do?
$83.
But by the computer clock, it is
No, it's a
Sunday
split.
at 12 a.m. So
Hey!
all of these teams have, in fact, made
Made
it to
Sunday. Welcome to Sunday morning curling, ladies and
It had
gentlemen.
more legs than we thought.
Exactly. Just implied verbal
Yeah.
consent. Exactly. We're living dangerously. We just have implied verbal consent.
This tap? Well, we can take it away. I'm fine
I don't
with
remember
that.
what's that
I
from.
think the
Somebody
hole
said
is here, too.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of how do you
So,
get
put it here.
implied verbal consent.
Put it
So
here.
someone has given you verbal consent, but not completely. They're like, eh.
You
Hey,
are
can we talk about this game?
You are so overthinking the lame joke that I gave 5 minutes ago. Just saying.
I know that I think there was a Family Guy sketch where they were like, do you have the express written consent of ABC and Major League Baseball? And he holds up just ABC.
Okay.
Just a 2,
Heidi
gentlemen.
Gross
The
thinks that
Bruins
things
also
Oh,
are
that's
shit.
right, yeah. Simpsons.
Of course, duh. The answer is always The Simpsons did it.
Yeah.
Duh.
Even if it was Family Guy, it was probably Simpsons first.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, back in the game that we're supposed to be commentating on, Andy Hartzig throwing a stone where he's being asked, I'm not even sure what he's actually being, I believe he's being asked to put up a guard to prevent a promote.
Stay with me, Josh.
And I If this gets over the hog line, it will do exactly that. And it did, so it does. Red is lying 3. All 3 are pretty inaccessible.
Yeah, one is
Paul Schultz
maybe
is
half open, but maybe.
Which one? Which one do you think is half open?
The top 8?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, maybe, okay.
Maybe half. It's at least a
but
third.
Paul Schultz is sitting here considering pinball. So,
I mean, at this point, you're scoring a bunch or shaking, so you may as well do something wacky. And
that was the side they wanted to play, too. So, I mean, they can do all they want with this. We leave that open.
okay, sheet D, we have a 5th end score. Unfortunately, it's not going to make.
Yeah. Well,
No, actually, it is going to make Mike Dobbs' mom very happy.
Oh, yes, as she points out, it's now Easter. Is the bunny coming to the club tonight? I don't think the Easter bunny comes to curling club.
I don't think we have an Easter bunny. Dobbs does take 2 in the 5th to be up 6-1 after 5.
Oh, it's Easter. I got to go to church. I'm out.
It's Easter. I got to go to church. Yeah, hang on. Game
So
over.
many guards that I couldn't get them out fast enough where they piled up.
So right now, truthfully, Paul Schultz is looking for, let's go sectarian. He's looking to find the Easter egg that will let him rescue himself from this end.
Black goat.
We could go religious and make comments about resurrection and stuff, but we won't.
I thought about it, but I think finding the Easter egg is a good topical.
We'll just go there and just leave it there.
Seasonal commentary.
Exactly. We'll leave it there and just let this thing, let it roll.
Board. This side.
As he doesn't even have, scary thing is he actually doesn't even have hammer this end.
Maybe the bunny will break new curling sets. That would be great. If he can carry, 64 40-pound granite stones?
That's it. Well, on the other hand, he brings chocolate to every little kid, so that's probably equivalent in weight. I think he and Santa do a timeshare on the technology. So, tap, tap. That didn't accomplish anything, unfortunately.
It also depends on what time the Easter Bunny usually comes, because I imagine there's going to be people here closing the bar down.
It's lined up better now.
Do we have any chocolate liquor? We might behind the bar. Lord only knows what's behind that bar, honestly.
So I got to get him out here, don't I? I want to take away this half of the stone. Because if I get it on, if it's here, it's no good. Like the guard has to be on this side.
So they see that yellow has this sort of double angle raise, and now they want to take it away.
And you know, when you're pondering throwing a guard to take away a double angle raise, when you're up 6-1 in the 7th end of a game, you're feeling good.
For as much as it can be, it's lined up.
This is what I want right here.
If you hit that top yellow sort of straight back,
yeah, sure,
it's going to take that second yellow right across, and I'm pretty close to onto that red in the house.
So, and TJ is eliminating that
That's a 2
right now. Or at least attempting to.
It's not wrong, so.
Huh?
It's not wrong to go for it. I mean, it's like I said, for as much as a double raise can be lined up, it's lined up.
No, I didn't. It's frosty out there too.
What do we got? Oh, they want a thing fell off.
Another one of those.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We buy those by the gross, don't we? All right, so the stone's on the way. TJ Burkett's just looking to put a guard up in front of the double raise promote hit for 1 that yellow might have. If this even gets over, which it might not. Yes, it did. Okay. So that's taking that away. It's now a triple run back raise promote for 1. Degree of difficulty 12.4, I believe. Especially 13.4 if you do it in a layout position instead of a tuck.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yes. Times like this, I wish I had a mic on one of these guys because I'd really love to be hearing what they're considering. Because
I think that's why they put it on the front end.
it might be. who is unfortunately standing 120 feet away down there, silently being quiet, going, I don't know. I just
Well,
don't
I'm just
know.
here to sweep.
we've made the last 4 shots. There's Andy's second. That wasn't bad.
So, yeah.
It's almost buried. Oh, you said you didn't know that got buried? Yeah. It's because it's big sticks. They ticked it over.
It's a lot more fancy.
It was a lot more open than that.
I saw a lot more of that.
Really?
It ticked over, so I didn't have to bother covering it up anymore, really. Plus, what is he going to do?
I think that was his, I think this is his best shot.
I mean, that's such a mind bender. I don't even want to think about what I would do in this situation. I'm just trying to get out of this. Just trying to get out of this alive.
I know. I agree.
The Shaw game was an emotional game for me.
So Japan over at the Women's Curling Championship at the semifinal is getting ready to throw the hammer in the 11th end, and basically they have an open draw to the 4-foot to win.
Left side does target rock.
So yeah, that's about to happen probably.
Right on. What kind of weight? Normal?
So,
Heel.
What do we got in mind? What are we doing?
well, he's saying peel, which is way too much for what I thought he was doing.
Unless he's doing some sort of double tick.
I thought he was going to hit the.
He's only got one sweeper on it. And no.
Oh,
Red
okay.
takes 3 to go up 9-1.
So he did play it the way I thought he was going to play it.
And Japan just made their hit. Japan advances to the World Curling Finals for the women, and we have a concession.
Good curling, TJ.
Single barrel
Let's get
says no
It's not the
mas.
diplomat, but it's even worse.
They're done. Broom
good
Shooter
curling.
2, Columbus, TJ Burkett, Eric Johnson, Andy Hartzig, and Josh Webb will be appearing in the B event finals tomorrow at noon. Single barrel.
Score. Oops, it's-
They got 3, so whatever it was plus 3, 9 to 1.
Nice job.
Paul Schultz, Mark Robinson, who is subbing for Brian Stewart, Len Yeager, and Daphne Roberts. Their tournament's over.
It happens.
And you
But
know,
it's Saturday at midnight. It's not a bad time to be over.
you know, okay, so we have a request for sheet C, although we also have Michael Dobbs' mother for sheet D.
We also have Josh Leggett
I
for
don't think
sheet A,
it's.
so-
I don't
Okay,
think there's any
so,
more games started. I think they push them all the way to the back. Like that, yeah.
We're going to go with sheet A first, and the reason we're going to do that is because they're the
I
game
think
that's
it's
furthest
double here. I don't
along.
know.
Seems good. They're most
All
likely
that
to then allow us
smoking makes you
additional
wanna
bonus
sweep.
coverage later.
Exactly. So we're going to cut over to sheet A. We will keep you updated on sheet C and sheet D, obviously, all the way through this thing. So we're moving over to sheet A, which is currently in the 7th end. Top 4, Nutmeg, skipped by Andy Eaton. Place is Mark Zakin. Second is Brian Walker. Lead is Jeff Hannon.
Yes, we had
Shooting
them on the stream
Redstones.
at, was it the 5?
A couple hours ago, yeah. Playing against Team Hamilton from the Curling Club of Virginia. Travis Hamilton, Mary Malage, Jim Yeager, and Sam Sparks. They are in the 7th end, as we said. The current score is 5-3 in favor of Nutmeg. Team Hamilton has the
We're in
hammer.
the same boat. The way I felt this morning, I didn't even want to be alive.
I'm sorry, they just finished the 7th end, where Team Hamilton got his 2. So it is tied coming home. We chose well. The game is tied coming home in the 8th end.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is Paul's beer. Oh, it's empty.
So Nutmeg will have the hammer.
Getting live post-game commentary from the skip of Team Group Shooter 2. So far, the only thing we heard was that there was a beer that was empty. Maybe that was what was wrong with Schultz.
Possible.
This beer was
And the game, both games on sheet C and sheet D are still in the 6th end with a couple of stones to go. So that's why we're over here on A. They'll be done with the 8th end before these guys even get into the 8th end. So Sam Sparks, Team Hamilton lead, throwing up a 1.5 to 2 guard.
Did we give the 5th end update on D?
Did we give the 5th end update on D? I don't know that we did.
I know we
6 to
eventually
1.
did say the 4th was 1 yellow, to go to 4-1.
So
But
2
the
more for
Team
Team
Dobbs.
Dobbs to move up 6-1 after 5.
And the 6th nearing completion. They appear to be on Skip's Rocks in the 6th.
So at the moment, that game is looking significantly more Return of the Jedi than Empire Strikes Back.
Someone returned us one of those little microphone dealies, but both of the microphones had their dealies on them. So it's just an extra one laying around somewhere.
Neat trick.
Nice.
That's why we buy them by the gross.
To be honest, I was pretty sure we just kept good track of them, but no, we apparently must just have a stash of them.
Right.
And they've gotten loose. They're triples.
Yeah, it happens. So Jeff Hannon drew into the top 4 foot behind the cover. And looks like Travis Hamilton is attempting to follow it. They're sweeping it hard to get it past the guard. They did so. So it's a hit. So going to be enough weight to drive it out. It's enough weight to take it to the back 4, but not enough to take it out, unfortunately, for them. So we are... Why am I not giving... There we go. Okay. So Nutmeg Stone is currently shot in the back of the 4. Hamilton has to figure out how to steal.
So just filling you in because the on-screen scoreboard is off. This game is 5-5 at the end of 7. So just like the game we covered at the end of the last draw on sheet D, this game is tied in the 8th. So whoever wins this end wins the game. So scores don't really matter at the moment.
Right. On sheet C in the 6th end, yellow took 1. That's going to put that's going to put the Hackheads up 9-5 over Team Temple after 6. Jim Yeager throwing his first stone. Kind of moved the guard and tapped the red stone. So red's lying 2 right now. Doesn't matter. Red's lying 1. That's all that really matters. Still lots of stones to go. Brian Walker, the second for top 4 from Nutmeg. Being asked, I believe, to guard this up. And it's just fine. Everything is okay. And just an update from that guy in this game who was brought into the war room earlier. He's sitting up in a chair watching the game right now. He's fine. He's shaking off whatever it was that. So yeah, so he's okay.
Yeah, he's essentially just on the bench.
Yep.
Watching from the glass.
They're running the rest of this game with 3 players, and that's okay. You can do that legally once you play, as long as you start with 4. You can run it with 3 till the end. He's popping an aspirin to help his back or whatever. So not a big deal. Jim Yeager's second stone. Got past the guard. Hit 1. Took out the back red. Okay. Red's still sitting shot, but now they've only got the 1.
But 1 is all you need in a tie game.
1 is all you need in a tie-in game, but they had 2. And in order to get from 2 to 0, you got to go through 1 first. Well, you don't have to.
I mean,
but
in a mathematical sense, yes. But
yeah, even if you do just for a brief moment.
What this has done, though, is pretty much ruled out the possibility of the blank.
Yeah, if this end ends up blank and they go extras, I will be rather amazed. I've seen weirder things happen, but not much. On the other hand, it is 12:16 a.m. on Easter, and we've still got 3 games going.
And 2 more draws tomorrow.
And 2 more draws tomorrow. Not for me, I'm doing yard work.
I'm doing, I don't even know what, but not this.
10 hours is enough.
I haven't been here for 10 hours. Have I? No, I've only been here about 7 hours, but.
Andy Eaton having his second, Brian Walker throwing his second stone. They're trying to put up some guard action. This might be a little heavy. It might actually take the guard that he has over. Now, okay, no, that's 2 guards. That's 2 very useful guards. Travis Hamilton's taking a look at the situation as he asks his vice, Mary Milage. Not sure what to have her do. I don't know if she has the heavyweight takeout.
Even if you don't have, like, peel weight, if you can sort of just crack those guards open and just expose that shot rock.
Actually, Travis is looking up. No, Travis for a second was looking at the double tap over there on the side, and it's actually kind of set up. That could be an option later.
Oh, the 2 yellows to sort of cue the back one onto the red?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that does look like it's...
That's not what he's playing. I think he's playing a draw into the center line. Not sure what's up with that. Probably he's concerned that Mary doesn't have enough weight to execute that shot. Or he's saving it for later. Got past the guards. Dragging it in,
What a shot. Nicely run shot, just not quite deep enough.
But it is deep enough that he's got to that the other team's got to start thinking about it.
If this was a game of sort of territory control.
Yeah, if this was go.
Yellow, if this was about amassing forces, you know, yellow being second, third, fourth, and 5th shot would be winning right now.
Yeah, that's true. However,
it's closest to the center, and that's still red.
Yeah. There is no weighting of stones or anything. It's just who's closest. But all he's got to do is somehow get that stone that was just delivered a foot closer to the pin. And he's got this. Mark Zakin throwing his first stone. I believe Andy is actually asking him to close that hole. And I don't know that I can blame Andy for doing that.
This seems kind of wide, but maybe it's coming back.
It's coming back. Actually, it is kind of wide. About all that it has done is it has made it so that
it takes away that
double promote cue that we were looking at earlier. At least it just gets made. Actually, it doesn't actually take it out. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it on the overhead. It's still there.
Well, yeah, I guess that's a better view. Because from my sort of angle on the camera view, it's not.
Yeah.
You could also just use the red one if you had to pile into the yellows.
Yeah. I think, yep, okay, Travis has said, okay, that's long enough. Let's try it. He's trying the double raise tap promote. Mary Milage being asked to deliver this heavyweight. The sweepers had to get on it immediately. I think he's concerned about wrecking the guards, and I think he's gonna wreck the guards.
You know what?
Which actually really is not a horrible
I even
result.
called that shot earlier. It's just open it up, and now you've got a pretty wide open shot up the center line.
Yeah, and that's forcing Andy Eaton to ask Mark Zakin to consider tossing that guard up top. Actually, no consideration about it. It's tossing it to do it. Just a question of where to play it. He's considering trying to pop that yellow closest stone's currently number 2 out. The danger of that, and it is a danger, is if he wrecks on the red, then Travis gets to start going into guard game. So the choice appears to be guard. They're going to guard that center line.
Yeah, which will leave Travis, if he can find some other way to get to shot, then he'll be great, because red has the hammer, and they're not going to have to deal with their own center guard with their hammer.
Yeah.
But as it is now, they need a center guard, or else they won't be shot. They'll be staring at a 4.
Exactly.
Very quickly.
All right, we have a 6th end score on sheet C. The Hackheads in yellow put up.
Actually, we had that one.
We had that one?
Because it was 9-5. I remember thinking about Dolly
Okay.
Parton when you said
All
that.
right.
But we do have a 6th end score on
6th end
D.
score on D. Now Dobbs stole 1 to be up 7-1. They are throwing the 7th end. And the guard was put kind of high, and it kind of crossed the center.
I think the hit is still open on
Apparently,
John Rock.
it certainly looks like that's what they're calling. They got the broom on it. They've got the broom on it, and Travis is striding back to the hack pretty confidently. Travis definitely has the weight, there's no question there. So he can make the shot. He's calling this for probably, looks like normal takeout. Sweepers, sweepers are on it now. They weren't on it for second. They're on it now. He's got to make sure he gets past the guard. He's past the guard. He's in. He's got the tap, and boom. The shooter rolls out, but the shooter's not really the important part
There's
of this equation.
still 4 yellows in the 8-foot circle.
Exactly. And the in-turn to the 4-foot's hit is not completely wide open.
No, interestingly enough, the fact that they're sort of split across the 4-foot there, and when I say that, I should show you by doing this, puts most of those yellow rocks under some sort of cover.
Yeah.
Not necessarily fully, but
honestly, though, the draw on from as we're looking at it from the left to the right into the button is pretty open.
Yeah, especially with a lot of backing there.
And I honestly think I would shoot that now before I give Travis an opportunity to
guard
guard
it. Right.
Because you ain't going to get 2 shots. Travis, that's obviously what Travis is going to do, is Travis is going to guard that,
oh, yeah,
no question.
You're not going to have 2 chances at this.
So you got to throw that now.
Or you have to assume you're not.
But strangely, they're not looking at that. What are we missing? What are we missing that draw line's not there? Because they're not even looking at it.
No, maybe they're coming around the other side.
Okay, now
there's
they're
a
looking
lot
at
of room
it.
to the right of those guards.
Oh, yeah.
If they're touching red, that would be shots.
Come in with the out turn past the guards the other way. That's an interesting choice. That's an interesting choice. That's a perfectly valid choice. It's not a bad shot, bad idea at all, actually. At this point, they're examining all of their options.
Well, and it's good that or presumably they've spotted 2 ways to do it here. Because if they have 2 shots that will let them draw to be shot, then Travis can't block them both.
True statement. Presumably, assuming that they don't get it, Travis will block whichever one they throw.
Right.
And they'd have to try the other one. Though honestly, the inner shot. I mean, they're looking at a heavy pinball-y sort of shot from the other side. Unless what they're doing is they're evaluating what would Travis's counter options be. Travis has 1 more stone this end, only 1. That's not true. Yes, no, that is true.
Yeah, he just threw 1.
Right.
You only get 2, so.
Yeah.
unless he's cheating.
Yeah, that's always possible.
It's the cherry blossom. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Exactly. All right, so they're drawing in. They're attempting, Andy Eaton attempting to draw in from the viewer's left to the viewer's right. I'm sorry, on the camera, from the right to the left. All he needs is a touch forefoot to be shot. And if he can get it to the center line, that would probably be game over. Well,
the guards are all right of center, so if the rock gets to center, it starts to get exposed.
yeah.
It wants to stay from this perspective right of center, but
Yes.
in the forefoot. So he only has about a 2-foot window.
Yeah, it's a fairly narrow. It'd be a heck of a shot if he pulls it off. Stone is on the way.
Whoops.
They do only have the one sweeper because.
Okay, yeah. My first thought is a lot of weight, but it's on the sort of wall side of the sheet.
Yeah, which
and
is
they've
going to
only
be a
got one
little
sweeper,
slower.
So it might be just overthrowing it. so
Now
they
they
can
got
sweep
that.
it
They
in.
have that sweeper on it. I don't think. Yes,
He's got
good.
it. He's full forefoot.
It's full forefoot. How is he? Is he behind the cover?
Not really.
No.
It doesn't look like it.
No, he's about half. He's about half exposed, I think. Because there is a guard. There's a guard way up top.
Both of those guards are, while they're right of the center line, are fairly close to the center line.
Right.
I don't think they go out to the edge of the 4-foot zone there. like
So,
the Rock.
judging from this line, I think Travis is trying to freeze to it or outdraw it.
He might just be looking to tap it back.
Or tap back. Tap back.
That's probably.
He only
pretty
needs to
good
tap it back about a foot and a half.
here. I mean,
If he's not shot at the end of the stone, the game is over.
Then Red has the same shot to answer, though. But I guess that's all you got right now. You have to.
Okay,
remove that
sweepers
stone.
got on this almost immediately. Sweeping it hard. No
There.
problem with guards up top.
There's
Kind of a
5
question about weight.
guards.
Okay, they got the tap,
There.
and they actually got a slight roll inside.
So there they are. There are your. It doesn't matter how many yellows are sitting there. It's at
No.
least 3. But the fact that yellow is the shot stone. This is a
And
tie game
actually,
in the 8th end.
And actually, the slight roll to the inside helped them out also because their stone is completely behind that very high guard. Now, it's a very high guard, so there's room for the stone.
There's room to bend to it,
To
whichever
bend to
side you
it.
come from, whether you come the intern or the outside.
Yes. I wish I had a longer cable.
You actually have a fairly long cable. Okay, I guess it's not long enough to go to sheet A.
It's close enough. So what I've got going, fortunately, those are empty.
Yeah.
So what the situation is, they have all three players taking a look, taking a hard
To answer the
look.
comment from Tech Muse, sheet D is not done. They're in there. They're still playing the 7th end. The last update we have is that at the end of the 6th, it was 7-1 for Team Dobbs. They are in Skips Rocks in the 7th. Yes.
Yes. As sheet C is about to throw the hammer in the 7th. D still has 2 yellow and 1 red stone to go.
So this presumably is the last shot of this game on A. Is it? Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
And
No
so
question.
then after this, we'll then cut over to C or D, and presuming those games are still going on. The D game might not be because of the score differential, but the C game should be. It's still kind of close here. I can't actually see the scoreboard people in front of it. But.
So yeah, the C game.
Oh, that's right. It was 9-5 last update because
Yeah, it still is. Yeah, it still is as far as we know.
Because they haven't played an end yet.
All right, so I think they've settled on a shot. They're not 100% sure how to throw it
I mean,
yet.
you got to. The shot is. There's no choice to the shot. You have to get that Yellowstone out of there and sit where it is sitting. Now the option is: do you throw the intern or throw the outside?
Exactly. Which way do you come with it? And actually, the gentleman who fell down earlier has actually come out, and he's giving his option here, so he's obviously okay.
He's at least good enough to come in for a coaching visit. I mean,
Exactly. And that's perfectly legal. I mean, he's one of the 4 players, so.
He's on the team.
I mean, technically, he could even grab a broom and sweep this if he felt up to it.
That's what I thought when you mentioned that he was getting up. I thought, oh, he's going to definitely make sure they make this drop.
So at the moment, judging from the broom, they're going to try to cut the out turn from my vantage point behind the sheet, right to left. You on the camera, it's left to right. They would need to come across, with what they're looking at, they would be cutting across about 3.5 feet of curl to either outdraw that Yellowstone just touching the button or somehow move it enough to be shot. It's going to be a hell of a shot if he pulls it off. Stone's underway. They only have the 1 sweeper. He's on it immediately. The device is also out there really quickly. They came out there, so they do have 2 sweepers on it now. They're looking hard.
I think they might get by the guard.
He's past the guard. He's past the guard. Does he have it? He did not make the house. Hamilton pulls it out in the, actually taking 3 in the 4th.
At least 3. Could
to
be
win
4
that
or
game
5
8-5. Hamilton pulls that one off. That was a hell of an 8th end.
7th end update on sheet C. Is it the Hackheads from Triangle or the Yellowstones?
Correct. Yes.
Yes, so they've scored another 1. They're now up 10-5. But Stones are coming back this way for the 8th.
Well, might as well throw it. There's no draw after this. You're playing for your curling life. So Team Hamilton will be appearing in the.
Stones have to get back down here anyway.
Yeah, Team Hamilton will be appearing in the B finals against Team Burkett from Columbus. And we say bye-bye to the top 4 from Nutmeg: Andy Eaton, Mark Zakin, Brian Walker, and Jeff Shannon. They made a heck of a run. They made it close, but Hamilton managed to pull that one off. We are switching over to, what are we switching over to? We're going to switch over to pick one.
I would like to say that D is probably done after this end, but I would have said the same about C, and they're still going.
So C is throwing, D is talking.
We'll go to C because they're in game. Like, they're playing and throwing rocks right now.
I think the question that D is asking is whether to shake or not.
And yes,
players are walking. Yes, we have had a shake. So Ms. Dobbs, your son's playing in the B event. The C event semis tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, 9:30, 9 I believe, right?
9, yeah.
9 a.m. for the right to play in the finals. He'll be playing against, I believe, whoever wins on the C here.
Probably.
So the Rebel Alliance, Team Dobbs, does finally take out Kylo Jen and the Storm Curlers. Jen Fox, Alex Carroll, although J.R. Groves was playing in this game. Susan Peterson and Mandy Marone, their tournament's over. Team Dobbs advances to the semis. So all we are left with here on Sunday Morning Curling is the Hackheads from Triangle in yellow, currently leading 10-5 over Team Temple from Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh they're getting ready to throw their second stone. They do have the hammer, so they're down 5 with hammer.
Oh, well then that makes it fairly...
Makes it easier at least.
It's academic.
There are 2 guards in front of the house and 1 Hackhead stone in the top 12. And unfortunately, Team Temple from Pittsburgh just took their own guard out with their second stone. I don't think that was the intended result.
Probably not, no.
It would be a very odd result if it was.
I find it kind of interesting that the Hackheads put up the center guard and drew behind it, like they're playing to try to steal an end here.
Well, that game was what got them ahead 10-5. I guess you just keep it up.
I mean, there's definitely something to that because I've probably been burned more times by the let's throw through or way up.
Oh, yeah.
Than the, you know what, let's just play it like it's any other end. Because if
Having
you play it
given
like
up-
it's any other end, you'll score like it's any other end.
Having given up a 5 to lose a game before, yeah, it's. I mean, the percentages say that's what you do, but sometimes it's just not.
If
the
you're
right thing
not
to do.
familiar with the strategy, and you don't have the practice at making the big peels and stuff,
Exactly.
sometimes you just get into a game of shots you can't make.
Yeah.
This one?
And, you know, there's also the argument the best defense is a good offense.
It'd be really awesome.
I mean, only one team can score at an end. If it's you, then it's not the other team.
Exactly.
Get out of the way. Yeah. Hard. Hard as you can. Hard as you can. Hard as you can. Thank you. Nice shot.
So a Yellowstone gets taken out. Red now has the two guards over on the edge.
Two guards kind of stacked on top of each other, though, so it's not. It's about as good as one guard. The Yellowstone in the house, though, not behind cover anymore, so that is an improvement in the state of the game for Red.
Yellow presumably just playing.
You can leave it high if you want. Just got to plug this port.
Playing to guard that up.
Actually, unless they can figure out a way to get both of those guards into the house, Red is out of bounds.
No, that's not true. They still have 5 stones remaining.
And they're down 6, aren't they?
No, 10-5.
Oh, they're only down 5. Okay.
So at the moment, they have to get all their available stones to score, or they do have the two. They do have the two, one of which is very promotable. So
Right, but they definitely both aren't because they're on top of each other.
yeah.
So that's what I was concerned about.
Take a look. Right up.
Pittsburgh comes in, does make the top 8, just barely biting. That would have been Robert Schur's final stone of this end, likely the game. So Hackhead's Vice, 1, 2, 3. Yes, Hackhead's Vice, Mike Mills preparing to throw his first stone. He's being asked to take out that red stone that was just put in the top 8, top 12. Might be outside. This might be a flash.
It's not
Okay, it's not a flash, but it does move that red stone over to behind a lot of cover. And it's still shot, so Team Temple very much alive. They have 4 stones left to make 4 points happen. And they're drawing to the top 4 behind the cover.
That's all you got left is draw.
Yeah.
Every shot has to be a draw.
Pretty much. Jackie Temple asking her Vice. According to my card, Eric McManus. Doesn't look like an Eric McManus, but I could be wrong. Throwing the Vice stones. This looks very light. It's extremely light. That shot came up 10 feet short of the house, tapped a red guard over. So now we're at the point where they've only got 3 stones. They have to manufacture 4 points. It's not technically impossible because they do have material to work with, but not much. So Mike Mills being asked to just hit something. Actually, Mike
he was
Mills
calling
being
for a
asked.
draw.
Is it a draw?
He was pointing
Okay.
at top 12.
I guess just guarding the line, make sure the red can't draw in. And draw-ins actually don't even help red at this point because they need to make at least 1 tap work somehow.
And that is just over the hog line. Sort of under our club logo there, so you might or might not be able to tell where that is.
I think Triangle is questioning whether Pittsburgh actually should be continuing based on the fact that really they don't have enough stones to.
Split them out. Gotta be heavy.
Why are they hitting?
I mean, he's got a point, and it is very late.
Cleaning ours up.
And that actually takes their own stone out, and the shooter rolls.
Yeah, 2 reds out of play. They are now definitely out of rocks.
Technically, they have 5 stones to try to get 5 points.
Do they still have 2 left?
They still have two stones down at the other end.
Okay.
So technically, they're still mathematically alive. That's in the same sense that technically, I don't even know. I don't even have a good metaphor here.
So then at this point, if you're Lance Wright, why not just throw at those red guards?
Yeah, because all he has to do is get rid of any one red stone. I mean, he doesn't even really have to do that because there's no actual. The two red guards that are up
There's
there
no way
are.
to put both of them
There's
on the
no
house.
way they're both kind of clip in. It's
easy
not
enough to
physically
get one of
possible.
them in, but not both.
Exactly.
Because if you use a shooter to put both of those in, then the shooter's not good.
Right. So at this point, I think Temple, and I think she actually realizes it. I think she's just saying, you know, my tournament's about to be over.
This is the end of probably the end of her tournament. It seems like it's the end of her tournament.
Yeah, might as
the
well.
rocks have to be down here anyway.
Yeah, might as well fight for the one, throw the stones. Lance Wright didn't even come back down the ice, so I assume he's going to let his skip just call whatever the last stone's going to be.
And that's appropriate. I mean,
Yeah.
you see skips do that when there's time crunches or when
Absolutely.
there's really no question as to what the shot's going to be. You just save yourself the effort.
Yeah, Jackie appears to. Yeah, she's not even trying to figure out a way to make 5. She's just playing the end. So yeah, so this game is over. We're just playing out the string. We'll stick with it because, well, we're polite that way.
I mean, what else are we going to cover?
27 miles on my drive home. That's what I ain't gonna cover.
Oh, yours only 27?
Yeah, it's a short drive. I have the ICC. It takes me right to my front door. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, you got to pay.
Hmm?
You got to pay.
Yeah, well. So Jackie's calling, looks like for a draw, trying to get into the forefoot.
How many viewers do you have right now? 19 now. You had about 4 earlier. Well, for being 1 o'clock and for being a game that is over at this point.
So yeah, we'd like to thank the 19 of you that have stuck around here for the end of Curling After Dark, Sunday morning curling, Easter curling special. The Sells and McNeil show.
So you may have heard me earlier say, I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow, but not this. I will say that someone will be doing this tomorrow. And
That's true statement.
we're going to be back at 9 a.m. with the semifinals of the C event.
Correct.
And I think just that at 9.
I believe there might be B event semifinals
No, B
also.
event semifinals
No,
was
B event
tonight.
semifinals. Yeah, just the 2 C event semifinals at 9.
So at 9 o'clock, we're going to have 2 games for you, one of which featured. And then all culminating at noon, all 4 event finals, all 4 sheets.
Yep.
Big action, pipers, all that stuff.
Exactly. And I don't know who's broadcasting. I know somebody's doing the cast. I know it's not me. I know it's not you. I know we've had a pretty good time here for the last 9 hours covering all this.
Yeah, we're here. We're here because we're the night people. No one wants to sign up to do the Saturday night games. I don't know why.
So, yeah. So this is probably the end of our broadcasting season. We'll probably see you guys in November at the Embassy Row, South Korea, Bonspiel.
Embassy Row, yes. Yeah, there's nothing else this season we're going to cover.
No, other than we could cover the ice melting, I suppose.
I thought that you should be able to just turn on the webcams, just log into the website, and just like watch
the ice melt. I don't know. Well, actually, last year they did kind of throw the cameras up for league finals. Maybe they'll do that. I don't know.
I mean, the computer will probably sit out here for a bit, and anyone that wants to just webcast something while they're like a practice or something, they're open to do it.
Don't know. All I know is Jackie Temple getting ready to throw her last stone.
Heidi points out Fling It or end of season Bonspiel
They
for
might
new
do
curlers.
something
They
with
might
Fling It.
webcast that.
Who knows? But that won't have a midnight draw either. So,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, if we only cover Saturday nights after 7, then we won't be covering
Yeah,
that either.
exactly. So we'll probably be here in November for the Embassy Row Bonspiel because it seems to be that's what we do. Anyhow,
I'll probably be playing in that, but I'll probably still cover Saturday night, late night curling because that's what I do.
Unless I'm curling in it. Yeah. Last stone does not get in. She does take the 1, so that makes the final score officially 10-6. As the Hackheads from Triangle, Lance Wright, Mike Mills, Patrick Ravenhold, Amy Hobby advance to, what do they advance to? They advance to the C event semis at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And Team Temple from Pittsburgh, Jackie Temple, Eric McManus, Robert Sir, and Megan Fay, thank you for coming. Your tournament is over. And speaking of things which are over, our night is over. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Somebody will see you in the morning, although it won't be us.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night, good weekend, good curling. Happy Easter.